Welcome to my craft table. Hello, this is Jamie Magrich. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. It is a single layer. Well, it's not really a single layer because I did put layers underneath it, but it's stamped on one layer. There's no dimensionals. And colored with the blends. So let's get started. I'm going to be using the Christmas Gleaming stamp set. I'm going to be using all the ornaments, the hollies, and this ornament here. And then if you want to put a sentiment on the inside, you could use this one and this as well. The Memento black ink. I have a Whisper white layer. I believe it's 3 3/4 by 5. Black layer, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and a green layer, which is just a 1/16 of an inch smaller than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, just so I would have a little bit of a white edge around the edge of this. And then the 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 scored and folded at 4 1/4 card base. Let's go ahead and adhere this green layer onto the card base. Place it aside, and this is what is that color? Old Olive. I don't know why I get on here and I can't remember the names of things, but for some reason that's the way it works. Okay, and again, there's just a teensiest, like a less than a 1/16 an inch border around. Okay. This one will get centered on top of that. Let's go ahead and put that on. This is basic black. This one's going to have like a 1/4 of an inch. Okay, let's put that aside. We'll go ahead and do our stamping. For this, you're also going to need some Post-it notes to make some masks with. I've previously done that, so you didn't have to sit here and watch me cut them out. But I'll show you how to do it. It doesn't even need to be a good piece, but let's go ahead and show you. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is take the holly, the Memento ink, put the markers aside for now so they're not in my way. And I'm going to ink it up. And I'm going to stamp one up here going this way. So I don't think I need this paper under there so you can actually see what I'm doing. As I'm not stamping off today. So over this way like this. Okay, then I'm going to take my Post-it note, and on the edge that has the sticky on it, I'm going to stamp again. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and cut that out, which I've done previously, so you don't have to sit here and watch that. And then I'm going to cover that. You can also use typing paper or copy paper and just put a little tiny bit of the mono adhesive on the back. Okay, then I'm going to ink this up again. And I'm going to stamp it again. This time it's going to overlap that one a little bit. it's going to appear to be behind the other one. Perfect. Okay, and then I've cut out another mask. This one will go on top of here. And I'm going to do that a third time. This time I'm going to straddle this leaf. So I have one leaf going up and one leaf coming down. Okay, I'm going to take those masks off so you can see it in a minute. One of these masks, let's put this third one on just so I have this one covered. Okay, now we're going to bring in our ornaments. Let's start with this one. This one's going to be on the top. The one that you want nothing behind is going to get stamped first. Make sure it's inked well. It's a kind of solid lines in the design, so to make sure it's inked well. Okay, and I want this little curvy part to be behind this little holly so it looks like it's in the back. So let's go ahead and stamp that down. And then I'm going to stamp this over here onto this Post-it note. I'm going to peel it off. And this one I don't have. Bring in a pair of snips. And I only need the one side of it trimmed, but I'm going to trim on the black line or just inside the black line. I really only need that one side of it trimmed out. Okay. So that'll get put on there. Alright. Now we're going to bring in the smaller one, this one. We're going to ink that one up good. That one's going to go up here. Overlaps this one a little bit. Comes right up to the holly leaf. Okay, and this one I already have a mask made for. So go ahead and place that onto there. This one I don't know if it has any sticky, it just sits there, but that's alright. This needs to sit there for a minute. Come on, get where I want you. There we go. Now we'll bring in the other one, the ornate one. And this one's going to sit behind the holly leaves and behind this ornament. That's why all the masks are on. Okay. Let's go ahead and stamp this one. Every one you do is going to be a little bit different. Okay, let's take all the masks off and you can see the magic. How they're masked behind each other. There you go. Now we're going to color it in with our blend markers. Now I did a previous video on how I did the ornaments. I'll just go over it again. So for this ornament I'm using the Purple Posy Dark and the Dark Blackberry Bliss. And I took the light when I colored the whole ornament with the light. If you want to leave a white shadow, you can or highlight, you can leave a part opened. Excuse me just a moment, please. Sorry about that. My husband's expecting a delivery, so I have to watch for the mail. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and color this, finish coloring this in with the purple posy. Then we're going to come in with the dark Blackberry Bliss. We're going to put just a half, like a C, with Blackberry Bliss. And then we're going to come back in with the purple posy and blend it out. Okay, and then this one is Bermuda Bay, light and dark. I'm going to do the same technique. And turn the paper to make it easier for you to color if you need to, so you can stain the lines. Okay, it looks pretty just colored solid in like that, but alright, and this side's going to be darker because it's behind this, so do that corner. Blend this out a little bit. It kind of blends itself. Okay, then if you need to bring in your, if you want to bring in a little more light, bring in the color lifter and just add a little bit of color lifter. It'll make a nice highlight there. Okay, now this last one is Night of Navy, light and dark, same technique. Color the whole thing light. Do a little curls of the dark. Blend it out with the light. Okay, now the tops of the ornaments I did with the bronze. And then I left a white in the middle. Just followed the curves of the, and where they put the lines is where I put the color in. Actually, I'm going to go to the other end because it's hard to get this little curly thing with that one. Okay, then I came in with the color lifter. Just did a little tiny bit of blending in the center. Just kind of pulled it out. Okay, now for the leaves themselves. I used the light and dark old olive. And for this one I did it the opposite way. I put the dark in first. I just put the dark in where those veins are. And anywhere that it's going to be a shadowed or where the other leaf is going to be on top of it, I Just added it a little bit darkness there. There's no right or wrong. You can color it all solid, that's fine too. Okay, then I'm going to come back in with the light marker and color in the rest of the leaves. And if you color in with the brush tip in a circular motion, it'll kind of blend those darker colors in. Just be careful when you go up to your edge that you're not oversaturating the paper so it doesn't bleed past your line, outside edge lines. Sorry, I kind of get in the zone and forget that I'm doing a video. Alright, let me show you how that looks so far. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the light and dark cherry cobbler. And I'm going to take the dark cherry cobbler, oh, dimensional, and I'm going to do like a half C on each one of these with the dark cherry cobbler. Well, like a back, not a half C, it's just a shortened or elongated C. And then I'm going to come in with the light and color in the rest of it. I'm not even going to worry too much about blending it. Okay, now I'm going to come in with the light pool party, and all the way around the edge I'm just going to draw a line all the way around the edge on the outside. Just kind of makes a shadow, makes it so that the image doesn't look like it's just floating on the card. It kind of grounds it, and it also kind of hides any places where you might have gone outside of your lines. I don't know if you've noticed, but the lighter colors will tend to help bleed out any of the darker colors, or bleach out. Sometimes you can just go, you know, on one side of it, you know, thicker at the bottom, or I just outline the whole image. Okay. Now, I don't particularly like those harsh edges there. So then I'm going to come in with the color lifter. And I'm going to just kind of swirl around the edges of that. And it'll soften it out. Anywhere you don't want it to be too harsh. It's mostly just in that center there. But you could do it around the whole thing if you'd like. Okay. And that's all of the coloring. Now we can stamp our sentiment. And I didn't really leave a lot of room for one this time. So I think on this one everything was up a little bit higher. So maybe I'll try to stamp it right there. Let's see how it looks. It's not too bad. There's one little spot there where it isn't perfect. Just gonna bring in a black marker and fill it in a little tiny bit there. We'll never know. I had a hair on it, must be. Okay, now let's bring back in our card base. We're going to mount this on the top of that, and that is our card. Now you could add dimensionals on this if you want. You could add sequins or glitter, or but I kept it kind of simple. I think the ornaments and the was pretty much, don't need much else. There you go, there's a card we just made together. Here's the one I did previously. Well, thank you for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day.